Hello, my name's Paul-Beckett, and happy Christmas and happy New Year and all of that. That's really had me thinking, actually, funny enough, how December is a happy month and January is a miserable month. I've been thinking about that a fair bit over the holidays. Like in December, we give ourselves permission to be joyful because it's allowed. We're allowed to be joyful in December. We're allowed to look forward to something. We're allowed to just feel joyful for no real reason. Just feel like everything's going okay. I know not everybody feels like that at Christmas. Don't get me wrong. I'm talking generally. Um, and I'm also just talking about myself. I give myself permission to be joyful in December. And then come January, we're told, oh, that's all the fun over now. Ugh, back to the grind, back to this. Everything you had to look forward to is gone. There's nothing's coming. It's grey, it's miserable, you've got no money. So we're told then January is a month to be miserable. And I was been really thinking about this and just about the conditioning of the way these kind of traditions and expectations and kind of like societal moods have got us locked into patterns. And I was thinking to myself, well, over the holidays, yeah, I have felt joyful and I have felt happy, and it's been wonderful to see people that I don't see very often. It's been really nice to have time off work. Obviously, getting presents and giving presents is all really cute. But actually, is my joy ever outsourced? Am I joyful because it's Christmas? Am I joyful because I'm receiving a present? Am I joyful because um I've got time to myself and time off work? I was like, whenever I feel joy, it's me allowing myself to tap into what I truly am, because I am that thing that I say that I'm seeking. I am the happiness that I say that I want. I am the joy that I say that I want to feel. I am the peace that I want to experience. So it just really had me thinking, because don't get me wrong, I love Christmas. I'm not one of these like Christmas bashers at all. I love Christmas. I think it's great. But in terms of like how tradition and kind of orthodox expectation of what something is so conditioned into us as to how we should feel and how we should behave. So yeah, moving into January, I was like, I'm gonna have an amazing January here. I'm refusing to believe that January is a grey, miserable, skint month. Like, I'm just not having it. I was like, January is great. I'm loving January. You know what I mean? More so as a little experiment, just to see how much this societal conditioning really has affected me, because it's there. It's 100% there with me. Like this little sheep mentality to feel what I'm expected to feel when I'm expected to feel it, or what the collective is feeling. Well, I'll run along with that. Do you know what I mean? So Christmas and New Year has had me really questioning this idea about the permission we give ourselves to feel good, or the expectation we have on ourselves to feel bad because that's what we do at this specific time period. And it's a funny one, isn't it? It's a real funny one. Christmas makes me laugh as well. So I was brought up Roman Catholic. So that I've heavy got that conditioning, you know what I mean, running in the background of the Paul program. But we're celebrating, I believe, we're celebrating the birth of somebody who realized their true nature to an extreme degree, like did as much, let go of the person as much as it's possible to do. And I really don't mean this to bash anyone's religion, so please don't take it that way if you're sitting here with a religious belief. But where I struggled with Christianity was, we said there was only one. He was the Son of God. So, don't know about the rest of you, you're all dirty sinners, but he was the Son of God. He was perfect. And we've made an error. We've made so many errors in the world, of course we have. But to make a cult based around one person, like, don't know about the rest of you. The rest of you is literally nothing down for you, but he was the perfect Son of God. And look what you've done to him. It's again makes me laugh, makes me cry, and makes me kind of groan at the same time. Because, if we're going to use, I know using words like God and Christ are triggering AF. Do you know what I mean? Like are to me, they are to me anyway. Uh, but if if the Christ is a word that describes something, then we are the Christ. Hitler was the Christ. Do you know what I mean? Every person on death row is the Christ. Uh, the worst people you can imagine are the Christ. There is no separation. There is no difference between us. Of course, within the play of the dream, we have all took on different characters, and some of those characters are antagonists, and some of those characters seem to be heroes, and some of those characters are bland and just in the middle, and some of those characters are doing other things. And do you know what I mean? But there is one. There is one, and it's so easy to be swept up with the story and to be swept up with the characters and to be swept up with your character programming and what does that mean and adding a narrative to everything that happens. And I still do it. I still do it. I'm not sitting here like Judge Judy, like it doesn't happen to me. It does happen to me. But again, along these lines of permission, the permission, what we allow ourselves to feel. It's like, so we've made a holiday out of celebrating one person as being the son of God, and the rest of us are, don't know what, chopped liver, in the background. We're nothing there. Uh, and we've just celebrated the birthday of a man who realized what he was. And it's beautiful. And his message was pristine when you actually look at it, and not through the perception of the way we've looked at it through like a human lens. And if you actually read a lot of the things, because I'm actually teaching RA at the minute in a Catholic school, so when you read a lot of the things, I go, God, the message in that is so beautiful and so clear, so singularly clear, but so misunderstood. And what can I do? I could sit here and go, oh, you've got it wrong. Oh, the church is absolutely up the wall. Oh, look at the damage it's done. I could give it all of that, but you don't fight for peace. If you want peace, you be peaceful. So I look at it and I go, no, I can see the errors. I also see a million errors that I've made. I see a million errors that that's happening over there. It's not my job to judge them. It's not my job to judge them at all. So this time of year, let's remember that we're celebrating what we are, not just what one person happened to be, or there's nothing like that. There is only one. There is only one, and we are that. We are that. And it's the personality of that one, if you want to call it a personality, because it's not, that's completely the wrong word for it. But the nature of that one is joy, is peace, is love, is kindness, is compassion. And it's sitting there. It's sitting there waiting for you to realize it, for you to feel it. And when we put it down to things that are happening, oh, I feel happy because I've got some time off work. I feel happy because I've saw this person I haven't saw before. I feel happy because I've just received this beautiful gift. But nothing ever comes from outside of ourselves. That joy that you feel whenever you feel joy is always sitting there shining within you, just waiting for yourself to give yourself permission to feel it, to acknowledge it. And we've been so conditioned to look for things outside of ourselves that we assume that these external triggers are the reason we feel that thing. No, those external triggers somehow give us permission to feel what we are. Seems strange. I know it seems strange when you say it. I actually heard, I think it was Rupert Spira say something once, and he was like, the naked body is always the naked body underneath the clothes. Even though the clothes are sitting on top of it, it doesn't change the fact that you are the naked body that's underneath. So when you go home, you take that off and the naked body is exposed. It was always there all day. It was just obscured from view. And that really struck something with me when I heard that. And I thought it's absolutely, it's exactly what I'm trying to say about this joy and this peace and this feeling of freedom. It's always there shining, but you have to give yourself permission to feel it. You have to acknowledge it. And easier said than done. Of course, it's easier said than done. Look at the state of the world. Literally, let's look at the state of the world. I'm laughing, but I'm only laughing because, but I stopped watching the news about 8 years ago before I even realized my true nature. Something in me just really said, stop watching this, poisonous. And so I did. And I noticed that my happiness, my self-worth went up when I wasn't worrying what was happening on the other side of the world. And now you might say that that's selfish. You might say it's irresponsible. You might say any of those things. It's my choice. I'm not saying you have to do it. But I realized what my sphere of influence was, and my sphere of influence was here. It was the people I meet every day. It was the people I've got direct contact with. I couldn't do anything about what a government was doing on the other side of the world. Yes, I could sign a petition. Yes, I could go and do a march or something if I wanted, but I didn't feel called to. I felt called to hold my peace, like a healthy cell in amongst a lot of diseased cells, not to run with the madness, not to take on the disease, but to shine as what I know I am, so that the cells around me can remember what they are. So yeah, it's that's another thing that I've been really working on, because the invitation is there for me to get so drawn into all the narratives that are going on globally at the moment. And I feel for it. I've got compassion, of course. I see the devastation. I see, like the loss of life. And I say, of course, I feel for it, but I don't follow it avidly. I don't I don't put the expectation on myself that I can change it physically, but I put the belief in myself that I can change it energetically. You don't, like I've said before, you don't fight for peace. If you want peace, be peaceful. If you want joy, be joyful. Do you know what I mean? And what you offer is what you receive. I've said that a million times. You're probably sick of hearing that now, but honestly, it's been one of the biggest revelations that I've had, that giving and receiving are completely simultaneous. What I give, I receive instantly. So yeah, just especially at this time of year, because I know it seemed like all the fun stuff is over now, and what have we got to look forward to? And now we're just in the grey slumps of January, and maybe not. Maybe you live in a place where January's summer, but here where I am in the UK, it's grey. Everyone's spent all their money. There's just a general groan of dissatisfaction, at the same time as a big expectation on yourself, as new year, new me, got to be more productive, got to do this, got to hustle harder, got to be more perfect than I was last year. All these crazy expectations. Again, a societal conditioning. Okay, so I just wanted to come on and say to you that yes, we've just been through the roller coaster of Christmas and New Year, and yes, now here we are hurtling on into a new year. But what you are doesn't change. It doesn't change at all. Infinitely, eternally changeless. Okay. And what you are is joy, and is peace, and is kindness. It's satisfaction, it's fulfillment, it's wholeness. Without a cause. It's not wholeness because something was given to me and it filled an apparent void that I thought I had. It's not wholeness because, oh, I actually hate my job and now I've had this absolutely beautiful respite away from it. And it's not a wholeness from something that's given to you from the outside. It's a realization of the fact that you've always been whole. Okay. And listen, I know what life situations are like. I know probably someone's listening to this in an absolutely miserable life situation, being like, do you know what I mean? And I get it so much, but I can only tell you what I know to be the truth. I was talking to my mum the other day. We lost my auntie about 10 weeks ago. It's my mum's younger sister, so she's obviously been feeling some kind of way. And I don't preach this to the people around me, but if something comes up where I can where I feel like I can speak the truth, I will speak the truth. And I was talking to my mum, and I was just kind of saying, just the usual about nothing. We're one, nothing's lost, nothing's gained. Even though on the human level, it really feels like there's loss. It really feels like there's devastation. It really feels like there's pain and there's hating. But in the true reality, there never is. But yeah, I was talking to her, and I was basically just trying to say about her feelings, or not herself, her emotions are not herself. There's something behind that. And I think we've all had little snippetsy snatches of it in moments, and you go, oh, didn't I? And I was like, right now while you're feeling grief, allow yourself to feel the grief, but know that you are not the grief. And in the same way with the world, you can allow yourself to feel whatever's coming up. Because if you don't allow yourself to feel it, it doesn't pass through you. It's like trying to push that beach ball underwater. But know that you are not those emotions. Know that you are not that mental turmoil. Know that you are not that anxiety. Know that you are not that grief, that anger, that dissatisfaction, the hopelessness. Just know that what you are is perfect and it's waiting for you to see it in the corner of your eye, like a little orchestra that's been playing all along, and you've just been ignoring it, ignoring it, ignoring it. Do what's going on over here? What's doing there? It's there, luminous, radiant, and it's only what you are. It's only what you are. So, I don't know whether that was a bit of a random message today, but that's what I said. So there we go. And, I love you and Happy New Year.